Hey, tell me a little bit about the real estate group. So, do you do tenant rep or purchase and sell? Like, what all do you do for Rushman Moore?
So Rushman Moore is definitely it's a commercial real estate firm. We decided to, once we accepted the company, well, not even exactly when we accepted it. Like, if initially we were going to be so many things from the start. But I started realizing that, specialization wasn't all bad. So back in like 2016, actually entered into a class called REAP, which is the Real Estate Associates Program. The intentional purpose of REAP is to expose minority candidates about the commercial real estate industry, all aspects of the commercial real estate industry. Obviously, it was a push to just add diversity, add some inclusion to that marketplace, add equity to the commercial real estate industry from a representation capacity. Being that African Americans are roughly about 2% makeup of participating in like the commercial real estate industry. So while I was in REAP, I was very general because I was so serial in my entrepreneurship. I had owned a groom lounge and spa for men in Buckhead, so I was doing professional barbering at the time. I was doing some consultation work as well, but the clientele that I had with the barbering was like very a massive clientele. So that's what I was doing. So when I entered into REAP, it was kind of like at a time for me to really understand like all aspects of the commercial industry, and kind of help simplify what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So they taught us about tenant rep, landlord rep, property management, development, the analyzation aspect of multifamily and investment sales. We touched bases with all that. And so for me, it was like, what's the common thing that I think my background brings that I will be able to really like add value to the industry and really create a niche for myself. And so
Yeah,
when I really understood what tenant rep was, like I thought like that's really like I think where I need to really start my commercial career. I can simplify myself and really focus in on what I want to do as far as helping other individuals, find locations and present their brands in a way that they are operating from a position of strength,
awesome.
more than anything else. So we dove down the tenant rep lane, and we also do business brokerage as well.
Okay,
The business brokerage aspect of it is the prehistory to how I even got my real estate license to start with, and that was based off of me when I was working in the shop. I had clients coming in and they were investors and they were looking for businesses to invest in, and I began facilitating meetings between clients here and there, that were had mutual interests, but on opposite ends.
yeah,
I had a affinity for doing transactions because before I even got called into barbering full time, I actually worked in corporate America, and I sold office equipment business to business. And the business to business aspect that I learned in selling office equipment was really like the catalyst for me understanding like the difference between B2B and B2C. So when I initially got my real estate license, it was in large part due to kind of the activity I was doing as far as facilitating the meetings within the shop. But it was a career sector that was kind of built around that, which was called business brokerage, and that was,
hmm,
the idea of helping people buy and sell like existing turnkey businesses. So I had my wife. I had a friend. My wife had a friend who introduced me to her clients who were actual business brokers, and they informed me that I need to get my real estate license to do business brokerage. And so that was the first introduction to me, hearing about getting my real estate license, and that was the purpose as to why I wanted to get it, so I
got
can
it.
just move into a business broker. And so when you fast forward it up into 2016, where I was learning about other aspects of commercial because I knew I wanted to do commercial. I just didn't know exactly what that was going to look like until I got into like the REAP program. Once I finished with the REAP program, I interviewed with a couple of firms, and it just, obviously, everything has to be a fit. Like, it had to be a fit for you. You had to be a fit for them. And so it's like I wasn't, fitting at the time with some of the companies that I was interviewing with. And so as an entrepreneur and as a creator, with a marketing background and a strong sense of branding and creating brands. I just created my own situation to kind of circumvent and be a catalyst for the aspects of the commercial real estate industry that I wanted to participate in,
Right.
which was the tenant representation and business brokerage. So I built Rushman was like a tailor-made suit. Like, I built it, around my specific skill sets, but it's bigger than just my skill sets. It's a platform for me to hire individuals who are similar to me that have a more unconventional path into the industry, or even for someone who is just already experienced in the industry and just looking to work with a firm that is emerging and growing and creating a culture that is very inclusive. I kind of like to say we're more like the killer whales of the industry. Like we like to hunt sharks, and we like to have fun doing it. So we
Sure.
want to create like a community that's very cohesive with working with each other, that likes to see each other individual within the community, have success and win at the end of the day. So we take on like what I call an orca mentality
That's awesome.
on how we hunt for opportunities and deals and situations.
That's a great story.